Coming in first on this list is a clash between Leandro Paredes and Virgil van Dijk. During the 2022 World Cup quarterfinal clash between Argentina and the Netherlands, Paredes fired the ball at the Netherlands bench after a reckless foul on Nathan Ake. This led to a rumble as the players on the bench rushed onto the pitch, but the most noticeable action in the sequence was a towering Van Dijk bumping into Paredes in a commanding fashion. Next on this list is also a moment at the 2022 World Cup. In the quarter-final clash between France and England, a penalty was awarded to the Three Lions for the second time in the match, when the score was 2-1 with France leading. Harry Kane stepped up to take the high-pressure penalty to tie the match, but his nerves got the best of him, and he blazed the ball high over the bar. A very elated Mbappe lost control of himself and laughed uncontrollably in his celebrations. The third moment I'll be talking about in this video comes courtesy of the special one, Jose Mourinho. In a match between Roma and Sampdoria in 2023, the score was tied 0-0, and Jose was about to bring on substitute Ola Solbakken in an attempt to break the deadlock. However, as he is showing the Norwegian a tactics sheet, the players already on the pitch combined to put Roma in the lead as Georginio Wijnaldum headed home. After seeing his players celebrating the goal, Mourinho can then be seen telling Solbakken to sit back down. Next on this list is a moment between Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte. In a match between Chelsea and Tottenham in 2022, Tuchel and Conte clashed on the touchline and both got yellow carded. After the match, Tuchel dragged Conte back after they shook hands, and this led to a very fierce altercation between the two managers. Both managers then received red cards, and in the post-match interview, Tuchel claimed the reason he dragged Conte back was because he didn't look him in the eye when they shook hands.
Okay, all is forgiven, says Jermaine Defoe. What a bullet, his first goal.
Another epic moment in football happened in 2014 when Jermaine Defoe tried to take a free kick off his teammate Gilberto. In Defoe's 9th game for Toronto FC against New York Red Bulls, they were given a free kick in the 75th minute. Having already scored one goal in the game, Defoe was desperate to add to his tally and tried to take the free kick off designated taker Gilberto. He fought to get the ball, but it was all in vain. He finally accepted defeat, but was still angry when Gilberto placed the ball down. He wasn't angry for long as the Brazilian Gilberto proceeded to score a screamer. His effort smashed the underside of the bar and into the net. The next moment on this list happened in a preseason match between Real Madrid and Juventus in 2023. Juventus won the match 3-1, but despite the defeat, Bellingham was left in awe of Kroos's amazing weighted pass to Vinicius Jr. The match was 2-0, and Vinicius scored from Kroos's assist to make it 2-1. Bellingham was stunned by Kroos's ball as he was seen applauding the German star. We all know you can't make an epic reaction video without including Sergio Ramos. Coming in 7th on this list is Ramos's red card in an El Clasico in January 2012. The match was a Copa del Rey quarterfinal second leg, and with the match tied at 2-2, Barcelona leading 4-3 on aggregate, in the 87th minute, Ramos got sent off for a foul. His reaction to the red card stunned many as he went to shake the hand of the referee before going off the pitch.
ركلة مرمى كانت في الوقت الذي نشاهد فيه هنا يورجن كلوب.
In a clash between Liverpool and Arsenal at Anfield in 2023, Liverpool were awarded a penalty in the 52nd minute when they were 2-1 down. Of course, Mo Salah stepped up to take the penalty, but he missed as he dragged his shot wide of the post. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp, who didn't watch the penalty, celebrated as he thought Salah had scored. He had a much different expression on his face when he turned around to see the score was still 2-1. In a 2009 UEFA Champions League semi-final match between Chelsea and Barcelona, the referee, Tom Henning Overbu, overlooked multiple penalty claims by Chelsea and was generally controversial. In the final moments of the game, Chelsea needed a goal to qualify, and Michael Ballack's shot struck Samuel Eto'o's outstretched arm. The referee ignored this, and Ballack ran after him, shouting vehemently, all to no avail. In a match between Real Madrid and Eibar in November 2014, Cristiano Ronaldo scored a goal and hit his famous Sayu celebration. Real Madrid's manager at the time, Ancelotti, was excited, and he also hit a modified version of the celebration in an attempt to imitate Ronaldo.
Bad time last year, suggestions that he might be coming to England.
In 2015, Manchester City visited the Camp Nou in the last 16 of their Champions League second-leg clash, and Messi put on a show. Messi was the busiest player on the night, and the highlight was when he smoked James Milner with an audacious nutmeg. Guardiola, who was present at the Camp Nou that night, had a priceless reaction to the skill.
Nemanja Matic hammers Chelsea to within touching distance.
The 2017 FA Cup semi-final clash between Chelsea and Tottenham was a 6-goal thriller that Chelsea ended up winning 4-2. Chelsea's fourth goal in this match was a Nemanja Matic thunderbolt from outside the box that smashed the crossbar into the net. Chelsea players and supporters went into a frenzy after the goal, but one reaction that caught the eye was that of Kurt Zouma on the Chelsea bench. In September 2015, Bayern Munich were losing 1-0 to Wolfsburg before Robert Lewandowski came off the bench at halftime to score 5 goals in 9 minutes. His 5th goal in the game was a wonderful acrobatic goal that got another priceless reaction out of Pep Guardiola.
Messieurs, régalez-vous. Hop, oh oui.
PSG and Lille clashed in a Ligue 1 match at Parc des Princes in January 2013, a match PSG won 1-0. A notable moment from the match was when Lille defender Aurélien Tchedjou put the ball through the legs of a charging Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Ibra gave a cheeky smile of congratulation as he got a taste of his own medicine. Liverpool and Everton battled in a Merseyside derby in December 2018 in a match where Liverpool needed to pick up all 3 points as they were in the middle of a very tight title race against Man City. The match was goalless until the final minutes, and it looked like it was going to end in a draw until Divock Origi scored a strange goal in the 96th minute. The Belgium international, introduced in 84 minutes, headed the winner home from close range after Jordan Pickford failed to deal with a Virgil van Dijk looping shot, pushing the ball onto his bar, which Origi followed up. A very elated Klopp lost all self-control and ran onto the pitch to celebrate with the goalkeeper, Alisson Becker. Lionel Messi is generally loved by many football fans, but he has a hater in his own home, his son Mateo. In Barcelona's second La Liga match of the 2019-20 season, they squared up against Real Betis at the Camp Nou. Real Betis went ahead courtesy of a Nabil Fekir goal, and Messi's little boy, Mateo, celebrated the goal as if he were a Real Betis fan. Luis Suarez, who was sitting next to Messi, was quick to remind the boy of his allegiances funnily. Unfortunately for Mateo, Barca went on to win the match 5-2.
And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting.
PSG were held to a 2-2 draw at home by Strasbourg, but the highlight of the game was Eric Choupo-Moting's extraordinary miss. When the game was tied at 1-1, Christopher Nkunku had a chance to give PSG the lead, and he chipped the ball over the keeper, but Choupo-Moting prevented the ball from going in. Kylian Mbappe's reaction to this was priceless, as the French forward couldn't believe his eyes. A Chelsea team looking to qualify for the Champions League traveled to West Ham hoping to get all 3 points. Chelsea won the game 1-0, courtesy of a Timo Werner goal, but the goal wasn't enough to overshadow his terrible miss. West Ham's goalkeeper couldn't handle Mason Mount's shot, and Werner had the chance to tap in from not far out, but he missed the target. Thomas Tuchel, who was Chelsea's manager at the time, was stunned.
Spirit here, through to Bernard. He had to wait for it, but now he's lashed it home.
Everton and Tottenham met in the 5th round of the FA Cup in a match that turned out to be a 9-goal thriller. The score was 4-4 after 90 minutes and the match went to extra time. Everton player Bernard scored the winner in the 7th minute of extra time, and Everton manager Carlo Ancelotti didn't even flinch. Ronaldo's bicycle kick, a sight to behold. In the 2017 Champions League quarterfinal first leg match, Cristiano Ronaldo scored a beautiful bicycle kick against Juventus. The goal was so amazing that even the Juventus fans in the stadium gave him a standing ovation, but Zinedine Zidane, who was Madrid's coach at the time, delivered the best reaction to the goal. Diogo Jota scored a goal in the dying moments of Tottenham Spurs versus Liverpool in the Premier League. The Klopp celebration is hilarious and unbelievable. To celebrate the goal, he dashed across the touchline. A hamstring strain during his run forced him to walk back on his hand as support for his leg. Manchester United versus Manchester City, 2011, a tense derby match at Old Trafford. The score is 1-1 and the atmosphere is electric. Nani sends a cross into the box, slightly behind Wayne Rooney. Rooney, with his back to goal, does the unthinkable. He leaps into the air and contorts his body, unleashing a spectacular overhead kick. The ball rockets towards the net, leaving City goalkeeper Joe Hart with no chance, sending Old Trafford into a frenzy. The camera cuts to Sir Alex Ferguson on the sideline. His reaction is pure gold. Eyes wide, mouth agape, he throws his arms up in the air, a mix of disbelief and unbridled joy etched on his face. Messi drops to his knees, his hands covering his face. Tears stream down his cheeks as the weight of the moment washes over him. Years of striving, near misses, and criticism culminate in this moment of pure joy and relief. He has finally achieved his ultimate dream, winning the World Cup for Argentina. His teammates mob him, sharing in the ecstatic celebration. Man City needed a last-minute goal to clinch a victory over Queen Park Rangers and win the Premier League, as it was clear Manchester United is leading already to get the title. Sergio Aguero's stoppage-time winner against QPR to clinch the Premier League title for Manchester City. His shirtless celebration, the iconic commentary, and the sheer pandemonium on the field and in the stands capture the drama and ecstasy of the moment. Barcelona and Inter Milan in the Champions League in 2023. Dumfries committed a handball while the Barcelona players were requesting a penalty. The Barcelona players and staff are furious as the referee continues to wave play. Xavi raised his arms in the air, challenging the referee's call and displaying his annoyance with vivacious gestures and facial expressions. Inter Milan coach Simone Inzaghi gave it a menacing glance following the handball prior to a VAR review. In a Champions League match between Manchester City and Real Madrid, Vinicius dribbled past Fernandinho and scored a goal. The camera immediately cut to Pep Guardiola on the sidelines, and his frustration was evident. He threw his arms up in the air, paced back and forth, and seemed to mutter to himself in disbelief. Fans of Bayer Leverkusen swarmed the field as the team wins a historic Bundesliga title on Sunday, April 14th. As their historic Bundesliga victory was confirmed, Bayer Leverkusen supporters flooded the field. With 5 games remaining, Xabi Alonso's team defeated Werder Bremen 5-0 at home to win their first ever top-flight championship. Long before the game started, hundreds of spectators descended onto the Bay Arena field as the referee blew the final whistle. Guardiola drops to his knees as Martinez blows a great opportunity for Inter. Manchester City and Inter Milan engaged in a fiercely tough match over the course of an hour, but what really grabbed attention was Pep Guardiola's response to one enormous opportunity. The Spaniard went to his knees inside his technical area as Inter has a great chance to score, but Martinez wasted the ball. In a match between England and Croatia, Tripper scored a free kick goal. The goal sparked an eruption of unbridled joy and disbelief among England fans, both inside the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow and across the nation, as everywhere were filled with the roar of celebration as supporters jumped, hugged, and sang in unison as beer flew through the air. Thomas Tuchel sprinted past Antonio Conte towards the touchline, pumping his fists in the air and celebrating wildly with his coaching staff. Tuchel's excitement was evident as he shared the moment with his team, showcasing his passion and enthusiasm for the James goal scored against Spurs. Luis Enrique goes wild as he was seen on the sidelines pumping his fists in the air, shouting with joy and disbelief at Sergio Roberto's last-minute goal that sealed the historic 6-1 comeback against PSG. Enrique hugged his coaching staff and players, showing immense emotion and pride in the team's remarkable achievement. His ecstatic reaction captured excitement as that moment for Barcelona was a memorable one in sports history, just right after the final whistle to confirm Malmo winning the league. Malmo fans flooded the field chanting in celebration of their team's league victory and filled the field with flares and fireworks. The supporters embraced each other, players and staff, creating a jubilant atmosphere of unity and triumph. The pitch was filled with fans expressing their joy and pride, turning the stadium into a festive and unforgettable scene of victory. In a Chelsea versus Newcastle game, Sissi scored a magnificent goal. Wide-eyed Drogba looked at Newcastle manager Alan Pardew as Sissi celebrated, shook his head in complete disbelief, turned back to speak with Pardew, and even clapped his hands to appreciate the goal. In a Champions League match between Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool, Salah tried to start an attack, but Silva and Marquinhos crowded him defensively, winning a goal kick in the process. Take a look at their incredible response as they each give a chest pump after neutralizing the attack. Epic reaction of Liverpool players after defeating Tottenham in the UEFA Champions League final. The Liverpool players erupted in sheer joy and excitement after defeating Tottenham in the UEFA Champions League final. They embraced each other, jumped up and down, and ran towards their fans to celebrate the historic victory. The players were seen hugging and cheering with enthusiasm, showcasing their unity as a team. The jubilant scenes on the pitch reflected the players' immense pride and elation at clinching the prestigious title in a match between Manchester City and Tottenham. Mourinho was seen grinning and making his way back into the dugout with his assistant. Watch as Mourinho limply flips a switch, leaps out of his chair, and then hysterically rushes to the fourth official to lash out at the referee for not calling a foul on his team. Thierry Henry's reaction to Messi's solo goal versus Zaragoza. Thierry Henry was left speechless by Messi's solo goal against Zaragoza. He stood up from his seat, clapping and nodding in admiration. Henry couldn't help but smile as he watched Messi's brilliance unfold on the field. After Leo Messi scored the exquisite winning goal for Inter Miami, look at Serena Williams' reaction as she was just shocked, as she could not believe it. The Beckham family, including David Beckham and his children, erupted in cheers. They all were visibly thrilled by Messi's winning goal and couldn't hide their admiration for the football superstar.